And now we move on to the main, I think, part of the graduation ceremony. It's up to me now to try and introduce the students behind us, the 34th graduating class. And once again, it's a great pleasure to be here to introduce such a diverse group. 14 nationalities, 4 continents. So trying to sum them up in a few short words is virtually impossible, but we never fail to make the attempt. Our very first student hails from Oman in the Gulf, but has been at ISN for as long as any of us can remember. In class, he's a quiet student, but immensely well liked and respected by both the staff and the student body. He has a very generous, giving nature underneath that big, burly, mean, lean, basketball hustler frame. He is actually a big, soft cutie pie. He's done work on hard labour. He plays squash and is described as, quote, a happy student always willing to give it a go. I'm told he's been on the march. He can certainly project that air of dignity and gravitas one would expect with such a vulnerable undertaking. I'm also told he is a very accomplished cook. Told being the operative word here, since I notice a very marked absence of cookies or any other snacks appearing on my desk at the beginning of any English lesson. He has a strong interest in aviation and hopes to continue his studies further in that area in Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, the gastronomically gifted Mr. and forgive me if I mispronounce this name, Ishaq Mohammed Al-Mahrouqi. Our second graduate joined Arusha campus in P1 and has been one of the most popular members of the group ever since. He got his priorities sorted right from the very start. When asked in P1 what was most enjoyable that week, his response was, quote, playing in the sand pit. He's a young man who always brings a smile and a very singular view of the world. He was once heard to announce in class, quote, teachers don't have the answers, students do. Next we have a young man from Guinea in West Africa who joined the Arusha campus, then left and then rejoined us here in Moshi in D1. Something of a dark horse. He actually has a certificate of merit gained during the Kenyan National Open Taekwondo Championships in Nairobi. And he has made an impact here too. Apparently, lots of the girls think he is the most attractive guy in the class. He does have a charming smile and a warm heart, which allows him to get away with quite a lot, really. He is a very popular member of the boarding community. He's taken part in activities as diverse as football, woodwork, frisbee, badminton, basketball, teaching computers, even weight training, all with good humour and an allure all of its own. Ladies and gentlemen, the irrepressible Mr. Abdoulaye Balde. Next, we have another stalwart ISMer, a student who joined us in P1 in Arusha. Described as a very friendly, cheerful member of the group, an asset to P1, her intelligence and judgments were obvious from the very start. When she was asked what she did not like doing, her reply was playing in the sandpits. Because there were boys in there. Ladies and gentlemen, Karina Bassan. Next we have a student who joined kindergarten here in Moshi in January 1996 and whose goal by P4 was, quote, "I must concentrate, no daydreaming, and don't be a chatterbox." Well, I think you have to dream a little to be an artist, and those who have seen Katie's artwork can see her potential in that field. But there is more to this young woman than art. She has participated in the Model United Nations in Nairobi at least twice. The first time as one of the youngest students ever when she was still in S4, showing great maturity and involvement throughout the process. Ladies and gentlemen, Katie Brice-Bennett. Next we have a young man who joined us in D1 from Al-Muntazir School in Dar es Salaam. And as one of his classmates stated, he too fitted in straight away. He's a polite, well-behaved, courteous gentleman who is very keen to do well. He too has taken part in a huge number of and variety of activities, climbing to Mandara, Mawenzi, Socialist Peak on OP trips, visiting orphans at Moshi Chapel, coaching soccer to the kids from Kilimanjaro. Damji. There's no need to be nervous. Next, we have a young man who joined the Arusha campus also as a cute little P1. A young man whose favourite activity was also playing in that infamous sandpit all those years ago. Mr. Jovan Dhariwal.